Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. But today, we explore the path of the no master, no excuse. You sit in your small corner of the world, blaming your lack of progress on a system that does not care about your existence. You claim you need a perfect mentor, a clear corporate roadmap, or a flawless set of external conditions before you can truly commit. You look at your current stagnation and point your finger outward. You are the mediocre person. You perform the exact microscopic minimum required to avoid being cast out into the cold, choosing a life of quiet, numbing comfort while your true potential decays from disuse. This is the ultimate modern paradox. You crave absolute personal freedom, yet you are terrified of the crushing personal responsibility that comes with it. You look for structural boundaries to hide behind. You have turned your lack of a formal guide into a permanent license for half-hearted execution. You are trapped in a self-inflicted mystery, wondering why your mind feels weak while you simultaneously choose the softest path of least resistance at every single crossroad. You tell yourself that without a master to serve or an institution to validate you, greatness is a tactical impossibility. You are a slave pretending to be an orphan. Face the emptiness. The ancient standard of the Edo period demands a violent destruction of this narrative. Historical records verify that following the monumental Battle of Sekigahara and the unification of Japan under the Tokugawa shogunate, tens of thousands of samurai were stripped of their masters, their incomes, and their structural purpose. They became Ronin, masterless warriors cast out into a rapidly pacifying society that no longer required their lethal trade. Their reality was a freezing, unforgiving expanse. The smell of cold mud, wet straw, and rusting iron scabbards hung over them as they drifted from village to village through the biting mountain winds. They did not have an institution to feed them. They did not have a lord to command their morning movements. Popular legend often romanticizes the Ronin as glamorous, wandering heroes fighting for abstract justice across the countryside. Documented historical fact, however, reveals a much grimmer, more tactical reality. The vast majority lived in severe, soul-crushing poverty, forced to trade their sacred steel for raw survival, or starve in the mountain passes. Yet the elite among these masterless men realized an absolute philosophical truth. The absence of an external master did not mean the absence of a code. It meant they had to become their own most ruthless tyrant. To ascend this evolutionary ladder of self-mastery, a warrior had to master 5 distinct sequential steps, each concept explicitly preparing the frozen ground for the next. The first step on this ladder of awakening is Giri, the internal obligation to an unyielding standard. For the masterless warrior, Giri was no longer an external social contract enforced by a clan lord. It became a deeply personal psychological debt owed directly to one's own soul. When the morning frost bit through their threadbare cotton robes, it was not an external whistle that forced them onto the freezing dirt to train. It was the internal weight of their own standard. If you only execute when someone is watching you, your character is an illusion. Command yourself. Mastering your internal obligation naturally clears the path for the second concept, Jiri, absolute self-reliance. Historical accounts of independent swordsmen emphasize that a masterless warrior could rely on no one to maintain his weapons, his health, or his tactical readiness. The Ronin had to clean his own rusted blade using nothing but coarse river sand and oil, enduring the piercing cold that split the skin of his hands. If his sword failed in a sudden village skirmish because he neglected its maintenance, his life ended in the dirt. You must stop waiting for a savior or a better environment. Own the outcome. True self-reliance forces the mind into the third evolutionary step, Chinin, the endure and hide mindset. This was the psychological tool used to survive absolute isolation and societal disgrace without breaking. Documented historical records show that former samurai often had to endure the deep humiliation of performing menial peasant labor, weaving straw sandals, or guarding rural outposts just to buy a single bowl of millet. Chinin required them to lock their pride in an iron box, keeping their internal warrior identity completely burning and pristine beneath a layer of utter silence. Your current discomfort is nothing compared to their calculated endurance. Silence, the complaint. Enduring the silence prepares the warrior for the fourth step, Sesshin, unbroken focus amid absolute chaos. Without a structured dojo routine or an army formation to keep them aligned, a masterless warrior's mind could easily drift into despair or hedonistic ruin. Sesshin was the daily practice of anchoring the consciousness in the immediate physical reality, treating the simple act of walking or breathing as a matter of extreme tactical discipline. They force their minds to remain sharper than their blades, even when surrounded by total uncertainty. You must lock your attention onto your immediate execution. Anchor the mind. Finally, this evolutionary ladder culminates in the fifth and most dangerous concept, Zanshin, the state of continuous, unblinking awareness. For a Ronin sleeping in ruined temples or under highway bridges, a single moment of total relaxation meant dynamic vulnerability to bandit ambushes or government bounty hunters. Zanshin meant that even while eating, resting, or walking through a crowded market, the hand remained micro-inches from the hilt, the eyes scanning the periphery for structural threats. It was the absolute integration of the warrior mindset into every single breath of existence. Eliminate the blind spot. Look at your modern decay through this unyielding mirror. You have used your lack of external structure as a pathetic excuse for your own lack of self-discipline. You claim that your corporate job is unmotivating, or that your family does not support your goals, or that the current economy makes real effort meaningless. This is a coward's comfort. The Ronin proves that when all external validation is stripped away, your true nature is exposed. You are not failing because you lack a master. You are failing because you are a terrible master to yourself. You choose the softest path because you have no internal code to answer to. Your mind is a soft, undisciplined swamp of good intentions that never materialize into physical scar tissue. Execute the mandate. Stop this video right now if you're looking for sympathy. You're watching this content simply to collect another temporary hit of motivation that will expire the moment you close the tab. You will return to your quiet desperation, doing just enough to survive, waiting for a savior who is never coming. The masterless path tolerates no passengers and accepts no explanations. If you do not change your internal trajectory today, you deserve the obscurity that is waiting for you. Destroy the laziness. The system will not save you, and a master will not appear to fix your life. You are entirely on your own. standing on an open, frozen battlefield of your own making. The amber path of the Ronin demands that you step forward into the cold without validation, without safety nets, and without compromise. Your awakening begins the exact moment you realize there are no excuses left to make. Awaken your internal tyrant. Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. Which one are you? Comment below.